Hey everyone, it's Brian. I wanted to keep you guys updated on my recovery with my prosthetic and how I'm going. I appreciate everyone who's followed along since almost exactly 1 year ago when I was in the hospital when this happened. It was December 10th. I went in thinking I was going to get some IV antibiotics for what looked like an infection on my leg and go home that night, and what turned out to be the worst month of my life. And I was released on December 31st. The amputation was on December 15th. And I don't even want to go back then because it was rough. I did not think I'd ever be to the point where I'm at now. So that's why I'm kind of excited to make this video, show everyone where I'm at. As this month I was finally, after 4 appeals to the insurance company, I was finally approved for my my own microprocessor knee. I got my new foot already before that, which they approved that before, and that's a hydraulic foot, carbon fiber foot with a hydraulic ankle, which is pretty cool. It allows me to go up and down ramps. Anybody who knows anything about prosthetics, it is, especially above knee prosthetics, it's really a bitch to go up and down ramps. It's like one of the hardest things. I'd rather go up and down steps any day of the week because ramps are just, especially down ramps, believe it or not, they're the worst. You kind of just got to let the knee kind of collapse on you and go one at a time. And it's not easy, put it that way, but it's made things a lot easier for me. I did have a trial microprocessor leg, the same one. I got that thanks to my first prosthetist. He was able to at least get me in that until I got this approved, but this was my last attempt. If I didn't get approved, I was going to have to go to a regular hydraulic leg without computer, that's not ran by a computer, and it would be a lot different, put it that way. This is a premium leg. It's one of the best you can get. The price tag on them is like $50,000. I know that's what they bill the insurance company. I believe if I was paying cash, it'd probably be less. Thank God I didn't have to find out. But it's these things are not, cheap pieces of equipment. So if insurance doesn't approve you, it's not like you can just say, okay, I'll just pay out of pocket, no problem. It's not that simple. Thank God they finally did. I had to jump through hoops. I had to do a couple trials, one with my first leg, one with this leg, the trial leg, and show my physical therapist, Julie, who's awesome. She worked with me the whole time to make sure we got it done. Showed the benefit and of the MPK leg versus the regular hinge knee, and my walking speed is almost at full speed as fast as I can go. Currently, it's literally over double what the fastest I can go with a hinge knee. So, I mean, it's a big deal when you're crossing the road, things like that. So, she worked with me. I had my PMR, my physical and medical rehabilitation doctor, worked. He did a great job, wrote me a great referral for it. And my surgeon, who did the amputation and who's worked on my left arm, which I had a surgery on about 6 years ago. I was playing basketball with a bunch of kids that were like 25 years old. I was trying to still be young, and I went up for a layup and it came down and landed on my arm like this. Completely dislocated it, tore every tendon and ligament, snapped the ulna bone. It came through the skin. It was a compound fracture. It was nasty. They had to. That was more painful than my leg, to be honest. It was most pain I've ever been in my life. But anyways, they repaired that. There's a metal plate in there with like 6 pins in it. 2 that have broken off and come loose are floating around. Either way, my doctor said if I was to fall and land on that, it could be catastrophic, because if that arm breaks again, I'm in a lot of trouble, obviously. More than just the basic trouble you'd be in by breaking your leg. And he, stated that with the microprocessor leg, it has this thing called stumble recovery, where if I catch my foot, it actually stiffens up and allows me to catch myself. Whereas a regular leg, like the one I have right here next to me, this was my first original leg. Like this one, it doesn't. If you catch your foot, it's just bloom, you're just going to collapse and fall. And this is just, it's literally just a hinge that flaps back and forth. This was my original prosthetic that I got back in April, and it mainly stays locked when you're training, when you're learning. It stays completely locked, except for when you sit, you press a button and it opens up the hinge and you can sit. But when you're walking, it was kind of just, you'd walk with a straight leg, and what that did is it put so much pressure on your lower back and my left side, because I would have to hitch my back up, or hitch my hip up every time I take a step so my foot wouldn't catch. And it was just, it was killing me after like a month or two on it. But it was nice to get, out of the wheelchair. So it was the first thing I had. This is inserts for it. These are these rubber inserts, and they go on your skin, on your bare leg, and you roll it on. And this what has a pin at the end, and it connects down into this one right here to keep that leg, in place. So that's basically holding your entire leg on. As you can see with the duct tape on this thing, I had to make it smaller about 12 times, and I would just add more padding and duct tape, more padding and duct tape. It's pretty insane, the amount of duct tape and padding that are in there. So I was thrilled to get out of this socket right here. That's what this is called, socket. And I got a suction socket, which is what I have on now. That basically, you have the same type of rubber insert, but it has a rib on it right here. And when I push down into it, it fits so perfect and tight that it creates a suction. And there's a little knob right here on it, on the suction one. So when you push, the air comes out and hold it. It's a one-way valve, so it keeps your leg from coming out. That's what I have now. It's so much better, so much sturdier. It doesn't, shift this way and that way and stay straight, and it allows me to, have it on all day. Essentially, once in a while when I sit, it'll lose suction, but for the most part, it's good. Much better than this original one. So I got that about 2 months ago, and then shortly after that, I got my new foot put onto my trial leg. This is my old foot right here. It's just a regular, they call it SACH foot, sack foot, and it's just a single joint, no movement in it. It's basically a block foot is what it is. That doesn't go anywhere. And when you walk, like I was talking about ramps, it's a pain in the ass. It's what they give you to start with, though, because some people, really don't want to do much walking ever again, which I can see, and therefore they're okay with that. They don't need any more. So this was, just the one they started me off with. Then I was so impatient and I couldn't wait for my microprocessor leg, so I actually bought one on eBay, and this was the knee I bought on eBay. It's called a Seattle Select. It's a pneumatic knee, which the difference between a pneumatic and a hydraulic is just what it uses to pressurize it. Uses air. Hydraulic uses hydraulic fluid, and this just gives it more, resistance when it bends. So it's not much better than the one I just showed you. It's pretty, but stop. Man, I hate when dogs lick like that. But anyways, it gives it a little bit more pressure. It sucked. I bought it for like $300 on eBay. So, but it got me through a couple weeks until I was able to get my trial knee. Now my trial knee, or my full-time knee, which I just got 2 weeks ago, is an Autobox C-Leg. It's a microprocessor. It's basically, a little computer in there that tells the hydraulics when to open, when to close. So when I walk, it'll provide more little resistance. It actually swings through. So, I could walk pretty normal. I've posted a couple of videos where, I'm walking with a pretty good gait and it's getting better at all times. Wintertime, I'm still using a cane. because I don't want to fall and look like an idiot in front of people at Wegmans stuff. So I'm using the cane just for a little extra stability. I don't need it. I try at home, not to use it. When I go to the gym, I don't use it. I'll just go machine to machine or free weight to free weight, whatever, which I started back at 2 weeks ago, which I'm proud of myself. I'm back at starting at Planet Fitness. They had a good deal. They have all new equipment. It's not the baddest gym in town, but it's good to be back at a gym. So anyways, so now this, my new leg now includes a suction socket, like I stated, with a microprocessor Autobox C leg knee, and I have Blatchford Echelon, it's called, foot and ankle, which I explained earlier is a hydraulic ankle that allows the foot to go up and down like this. The toes, gives it more of a natural foot type of movement, a lot better feel, a lot more energy return, so I'm not using as much energy on each step. It's just so much nicer. I mean, it's crazy, but like I'm just so happy right now with the leg and the ankle and the foot that I have with the whole setup that, yeah, of course I wish I had both legs still, but I mean, I never thought I'd be this, excited and happy about the future again when I was laying in my bed at Strong Hospital, looking down at my leg or what was there, the leg that was there, and wondering how I was even going to move forward in life. But I did. I stepped up every day the best I could, and each day's been easier and easier, thanks to God, my family, everyone who's helped me out. I do appreciate it, and hopefully things will keep getting better with all the equipment I have. I did want to share real quick with there's a couple things I've started to use, because when I was sitting, not able to walk a lot and get much exercise in, I gained about 20 pounds just sitting around doing nothing. It was, you feel gross, you don't feel healthy. I've always been in good shape my whole life, and I felt like crap. So I decided to see what all the hype was all about and try one of the GLP-1s. But what I found was there's different ones. There's different GLP-1s. There's, we don't know all the brand names of them, but basically what, you have, Ozempic, which is semaglutide, then you have what I'm using is called Mazdutide. And it is a dual agonist, which is a GLP-1. It's also a glucagon receptor agonist, so I don't know exactly how it works because I'm not an expert or a doctor, but I have done my research on it, and I do know it works better. So it's because it, has basically two, the peptide has two effects instead of one, where retatrutide is another one I've tried. This is actually a triple agonist. It's a GLP-1, GIP, and a glucagon peptide. So this one is probably the best, but they never have it in stock. So I'm using the Mazdutide instead, and I like this a lot. It's if anyone is interested, I go through a peptide company, as my insurance doesn't cover them. So this is by far, much more cost effective than spending $2,000 a month on it. This cost me a few hundred compared to 2,000. It has definitely worked. I stopped for a little bit, about 2 months. I used it for about 2 months. I lost about 15 pounds, and then I stopped for a month and gained a little bit of it back. It was just for reasons on my own. I stopped for, particular reasons, but I started back up again about a month ago, and I've lost about 5 pounds in a month. 5 good solid pounds of actual fat loss, not just water weight. Another thing that people my age seem to run into, men, is you get to be in your 40s and you're like even late 30s, and so a lot of people will be like, man, not when I was 20, I used to be able to eat Taco Bell 5 nights a week and still stay in great shape. But things, you start to gain some weight. You don't feel as healthy. You don't feel, the effort you're putting in is, reflecting, whether it's on the scale or in the mirror or your waistline or whatever. You may feel down, depressed. Yeah, it could be mental health, but a lot of it might have to do with your natural hormones. And so I went and got, this was about 2 years ago, so long before any of this happened. I was, feeling like that for a little bit. And I said, man, what's wrong with me? So my doctor gave me a blood test and found out my testosterone was well below baseline. And I was like, wow, okay, what does that mean? So she explained everything to me and started me on synthetic testosterone, which is injected once a week. I do it right in my shoulder, sometimes my thigh, but usually my shoulder. It's once a week. I'm on 200 milligrams, and it has made my testosterone levels very consistent, to the higher end of in the green. So, it's not too high, but it's on the high end of normal. And the feeling after it took about 2 weeks to work, and it felt like someone jump started me. It was a whole different feeling. I went from feeling lethargic and miserable to, wow, I feel like I'm young again. And like I said, it was about 2 years ago, and everything kind of, my mental health got better. Everything got better for me. I was able to, do some cardio at the gym, eat healthy, and actually, look like I was doing that, rather than being like, what the heck? Why is my waistline not getting smaller when I'm eating right and doing my cardio, lifting my weights? But it started to, the effort started to reflect, and it was like night and day. And I am a huge proponent of getting your testosterone levels checked if you're a man. I am not telling you what to do. I'm not giving any medical advice. I'm just telling you, talk to your doctor if you feel in any way like that. Like, hey, maybe my testosterone levels are low. Maybe, I'm, gaining weight. Maybe I'm feeling crappy. I'm depressed. I'm lethargic. I just don't want to get off the couch. Maybe in other aspects of your life with your wife or your husband, whatever, aren't the same. So if that's the case, talk to your doctor. Ask him to get a blood test and check your testosterone and free testosterone levels. Thyroid is another area where it's common, but testosterone levels among people who are my age do tend to drop, and mine did. And since then, I've been on a very consistent regimen. 200 milligrams. I haven't had to go up at all. I haven't had to change my dosage at all. The level has been dead consistent. Boom, right there. You don't have to do it every day or anything like that, because I use testosterone and cypionate. They have a couple different types, but if you use the type I'm using, it stays, level in your blood for weeks at a time. You don't have to worry about the ups and downs. And it's something you might want to consider, because it's definitely helped me. And I don't know what I'd do without it, to be honest. So it's, I don't want to give medical advice, but if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, and something just clicked when I said that, and you're like, wait a minute, I feel like that. Ask your doctor to get your testosterone levels checked. Could be something else, could be that. And if it is that, ask them about, my general practitioner writes it for me. I don't have to go see an endocrinologist or urologist or anything like that. She does it all for me. She's great, and monitors it and goes from there. But anyways, so I just wanted to update everyone on exactly my whole life, I guess, which I gave you probably more information than I needed to. But just wanted to explain to everyone how I get through day to day and the direction I'm heading. And I will be taking more videos as I get better and better with this walking. This walking in the snow is new to me. I didn't have a leg last year. I had a leg, was a real leg, but I didn't have my prosthetic leg during the winter at all. So this is the first winter I'm walking with one of these, and it is a lot different. I have not fallen yet, knock on wood. The other thing I wanted to say is that I started bowling. I bowl every Saturday with, not in a league, but with my brother, my nephews, and my dad comes and watches too. We go to Sunset Bowl. If anybody's interested, we go at noon every Saturday over on Shiloh Avenue. Get some open lanes and we bowl. And I've always bowled my whole life. I love bowling. I was a good bowler at one point. I got frustrated the first couple weeks because I wasn't as good. Obviously, I can't take an approach anymore. I kind of just got to go up to the line, set myself, and push the ball out there, as much as I can. But I actually, 2 weeks ago, I shot 234, 210. So, it's definitely up to where I was before. But last week, I kind of went down a little bit and shot in the 160s for my 3 games, but that's okay. I'll get there. I'm excited about that. So I will be bowling in a league next year. So if anybody needs a teammate, let me know. My brother will probably bowl me too because he's all excited about it too. He's a good bowler as well. My youngest nephew has gotten into it. He's bowling for the school, and he's getting better each week. He did leave his foot cover on when he went up to bowl on Saturday for the first frame, and he forgot to take it off, and it caught, and he flew out onto the lane like a good 3 or 4 feet onto the oily lane, swishing and swishing, trying to get up. And, I'm over there dying laughing, and so is my brother and my dad and my other nephew, and he's getting all frustrated, but I wish I had it on videotape to show you. I don't. But it was funny. But he's a good sport about it. He's starting to get better. My older nephew, he's really good. He shot 258 a couple weeks ago. I know you guys don't want to hear all this, but I have nothing else to do with my time, so I wanted to update everyone on this. And if you're still listening, great. If not, that's fine too. Other than that, I will be updating about once a week and let you know how I'm going at the gym, how my recovery's going, if I'm getting any new equipment. If you want to message me on my Facebook, go ahead. You can ask any questions. If you have someone or yourself are dealing with any of the things I talked about, whether it's the GLP-1s, the testosterone, or, a prosthetic device or an amputation, please feel free to contact me. I'd love to talk about anything and, share my experience. More than willing to. Message me. Other than that, thanks for listening.